Alright, so I understand that we're live right now. Hello, is anyone there? Okay, well, whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and start playing. Hello, everyone. Current or watching this at a later date. I'm doing hardcore Minecraft now. As you can see, it's just the world. Guess we could change that if you wanted. I'm gonna leave it on default, hardcore mode. As you can see, hit that dab, and let's start. Oh, why is it? Is that there? Bah. Bah. Is that linked to Discord? Current. I get a new link for this Discord channel. And yeet that link right into. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. According to OBS. But for the world to generate itself. Alright guys, 100% finished generating this new world. We're finna hop in. I hope it's not too laggy. If it be, then that's suck. Right now, I'm losing frames because Optifine for 1.14 is only 30% completed. And also, it's a brand new world, so it still has to generate some chunks. So we're in one of those Taiga Hill biomes. Generating the chunks. I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping down a tree. Okay, allegedly the stream is offline right now, but I don't believe that. I'm paranoid, so I'm gonna go check. Okay, no, the stream is still up. According to OBS. YouTube is just awful. Anyways, finish chopping this bad boy. I'm just making sure everything's a-okay. Let me go ahead and turn off auto jump. And chop down this tree. I can't hear anything. 1 second. There we go, now I can hear things. Alright guys, that's 12 pieces of wood. I think if I just chop down this one last tree, we should be going good. Oh, rhymes. Alright, go ahead and transformation. Reforestation. And let's build ourselves a little beginner's hut. Find a good place to build it though. Don't worry guys, I'm also getting awful frames. You're just gonna have to bear with it. Until a good portion of the world is generated. Alright, could look better. I'm gonna do some repairs so that it doesn't look awful. Because personally, I don't like awful looking houses. Actually, I'm gonna make an axe first. Because this is unbearable. That is not an axe. I almost just made the most useless block and item in Minecraft for no good reason. Insert angry comments from people who really like using the Minecraft tiller. Oh, hello cow. Would you want to be my dinner? Honestly, I think the axe is a little OP. Like 7 damage. That's a diamond sword. Except I got it in the first like 5 minutes of this world existing. So, yeah, I guess you could say I just placed a block there for no good reason. But what really needs to happen is me to get door to place approximately right here. Actually, never mind, that's an awful place for a door. Better place for a door would be right here. Actually, no, that's an awful place for a door. This is actually a good place for a door. I was just joking the first time. Like, I got big ping on my own world, hosted inside of my house, on my computer. I see that 2 people are watching, so are you guys enjoying the stream, or are you just sitting here like, what the heck? This dude needs to get a better computer. Alright, as it turns out, I actually do need more, and also need to learn how to chill, because this is definitely not just a beginner's hut. This is the whole house. Oh gosh! That's a new 1.14 feature, is these sweet berries. Really good source of food. Except they hurt. And also you can place them anywhere, you don't have to put them near water. What's happening in Discord? Nothing. No one's on Discord ever. RIP. I don't know what to say, guys. I just like building big houses. Is that? Oh dang, that's finna go down. Oh gosh. What's finna happen is I'm finna die on the first day. It looks like as soon as I mentioned that there was the 2 people watching, 1 person left. So I'm just gonna sit here and assume that you aren't enjoying the stream because it's a slideshow. Hi guys, it's presentation day, so I'm gonna show you guys my Google Slides. Here is 3 seconds of, actually really 30 seconds of me holding an axe and walking towards something. And right there is me building my house. You get to see this picture for a good 50 minutes. Oh yeah, I haven't been talking for like the past minute, so. Good weather recently? No? Okay. Hey, my house is coming together. Hey, there's 3 people watching right now if this web page is correct. So hello, 3 people. Ouch. Yeah, I'm getting really bad ping on my own world. Not to mention the sun is literally going down as I speak. And my house is only finna complete. Guys, make sure to join the Discord. There's a link in chat as well as description. Alright guys, I'm about to finish the roof just in time. And BAM! It's dark. But at least I have a roof over my head and 4 walls. Can I turn up the brightness? Is that cheating? It's already at full, so. Oh, well, we've got 5 people watching. Hello, everybody. Are you guys enjoying the live stream? I wish I had a torch right now. What I can do, however, is use this. Only 3 more uses on this axe. Huh. Wish I would have known that 8 years ago. What would I have done with that information 8 years ago today? I'll figure out. 8 years ago today, that's 2011. So I was about to finish the 1st grade, if my calculations are correct. I'm pretty sure I at least heard about Minecraft by that point. But honestly, giving a context, I don't really think I would have found that information very useful. Like, hey, in 8 years, that axe is only gonna have a few uses left on it. Really, I think I'm thinking too much into this. Not to mention the fact that I cannot see a thing. I'm gonna turn up my monitor brightness, because that's only at 50%. Alright, get that cranked. It's not very helpful, but it's honest work. I really hope monsters are spawning in the top of my house. Alright, looks like we're good. Ooh. I see items. I really like in the new update how leaves will drop sticks when they're finished. Not only is that very realistic, but it's a very good source of stick. And now that brings me up to 11 stick. So if I found coal, I would be pretty set for life, if you know what I mean. At first I thought it said, well, I've been live streaming for 193 minutes, and I was about to be like, okay, that's not correct. Oh, I can make a chest. Alright, let me set that bad boy down. Put some items in there. I love the look of that. I really love there are monsters down there. Okay, good. I wonder how much longer I have to wait until daytime. Because you guys gotta remember, this is on hard difficulty, and because I'm playing in hardcore mode. Oh gosh, monsters? No. 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 Okay, it's approximately 1 in the morning, if my calculations are correct. What is that? I think that's a skeleton. It looks like I'm safe for the time being. Oh gosh. Okay, good. There's no monsters in my mind. Call me paranoid, but I'm not dying on the first day. Also, I'm not logging into this world off camera because that would be exactly when I die, because I wasn't recording it. Oh gosh! Okay, no, I keep looking at that out of the corner of my screen and think it's a creeper. Speaking of, good, there's no creepers, and it's finna day, so, say what you want, but I'm kinda happy that it's finna day. I'm gonna go collect some more stone. I can get a furnace now. If I grabbed some logs, I can make charcoal, aka coal. Ooh, iron! Which is kind of useless to me at the current moment. But I digress. It's iron, aka good stuff. I'll go ahead and make another pickaxe. Alright, I'm fairly certain that it's finna daytime, because look at that. That moon is finna go down. Oh gosh! More food.